Love You's a 3-1 winner over Team Baggage as we welcome you to the Blitzball Battle 3 post-game show presented to you by Shady Rays, Pete Moylan, Chris Rose, and boy, the new rules really came into effect here.
They really did. Dalton Feely coming in to get the last 2 outs of the innings. Amazing stuff by him. I was looking for him to get at least, obviously, those 2 outs, but now that I've seen him pitch, I think he can maybe go 3 or 4 in a game and give Nicky Cass a day off.
So Dalton Feely, by the way, not only the guy who gets the save, he is our Shady Rays player of the game. So we want you to use the code word warehouse for 40% off of your next pair of shades. Maybe you can go in there and see Dalton as a Shady Rays model sometime in the near future. Now, don't forget, use that code word warehouse. And you'll also get early access to the John Boy Media and Shady Rays collab pairs. Those are coming out later this summer. John Boy's got a pair. Jake's got a pair.
You get a pair?
They've got pairs because they're the bosses
right,
and they're the dudes that pay the bills. And you should get in line to get a pair of their shades. Okay. That way you can look way cooler than the two of us. So once again, our Shady Rays player of the game, Dalton Feely, standing by with Paxton Elrod.
Thanks, Rose. Yes, I got Dalton with me. How are you feeling after that victory?
Oh, pumped up. I mean, my heart was racing. I had to take a little breath and calm down. Nick's like, relax. So, but once we got that final out, we were pumped up, energetic, ready for another W next time.
What was your strategy going into the pitching in the second inning?
It was just get outs. Nick was very comfortable against Jimmy. I felt comfortable after that first inning against Jake, and it was just who felt better at the time. We needed to get 2. We both did it. Got the W.
I love that. Your sunglasses look great, by the way.
Yours too.
Thank you. Back to you guys in the booth.
Paxton, thank you very much. Take a look at the standings. I want you to pay close attention to the run differential. That decides all the tiebreakers during the regular season. The caveat here is that if the home team doesn't hit in the second inning, just like Love is today, you multiply their run differential by 1.5. I know you're saying, well, hold on here. This is not a math pod. That makes their adjusted run differential 3. For more on Love You's 3-1 win over Team Baggage, let's take you down to the press room.
Let's just start first takeaways from this game. It's a tough way to lose, but what do you take going into your next game after what you learned here?
Throw strikes. Don't walk the first 2 batters. That happens. That's how I start every tournament. I can't find it. It's like jitters or adrenaline, and that came back to bite us. And a tale of ceiling balls, right? I dropped mine. Dalton called his. And that's...
Yeah, that's a 2-out swing, right?
Yeah.
So that's a lot. I don't know. I don't know. I
we
thought
put balls
we were
in play,
right.
grinded at bats. They had 5 outs in the field. That's kind of rare when you have one defender. I grounded out 3 times or 2 times, and you had the Dalton out. They had a lot of outs in the field, which is kind of rare. If we keep putting that many balls in play, we'll be okay.
There were a couple moments there where it felt like you start, like you said, you start pitching and you struggle a bit early, but you seem to come back. Do you feel like you settled down somewhere in the middle there, like you said, early jitters, or do you think it
with jitters else? And I put a hitch in my delivery on my fastball halfway through. I started leaning back.
Say Web Dog.
Yeah, Ryan Weber, my hero. I started kind of reaching the wall back and thinking about more slinging it forward instead of just pitching how I usually do. And that seemed to help against Dalton a lot. Nicky can hit me pretty well. The 4-1 slider or 3-1 slider I threw Nicky that hit him in the shoulder. I think that's what Dalton struck me out on to end the game. If you get those pitches, you have to hit such a narrow lane. Dalton got it. My confidence probably changes and I throw more breaking pitches if I get that one. But I hit him twice.
Jake, we didn't get to see Jake pitch this game. What's your pitching strategy going forward? Does Jake start the next one?
I think we'll think about it. We'll see what our matchup is. I think not having a throw today will be huge for me and hopefully Team Baggage. Why not?
We gotta win.
Gotta
avoid
win.
Elimination. If we want any shot at the double elimination, we're gonna have to win and probably get our run differential to around even. Plus, we're -3 right now, so.
Plan is to win tomorrow big.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Ideally.
All right. One last thing is Nicky tried to quick pitch you at one point there. Saw some words said. Were you frustrated or were you just happy to get
I'm
that
just
quick
not
pitch?
some chump that's going to fall for that. And he should know that. So I was disrespected by him thinking I was going to fall for a quick pitch. So I hit it and then and then flipped him the middle finger almost immediately.
Yeah. Right.
And he knows that.
Immediately.
And
Almost too quick, man. That bird was up.
bird was
up.
I told Jake in the hotel room last night, I said, Nicky's going to try to quick pitch us. And he shouldn't, because we're not chumps.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Snack.
Bye, Chris Rose. Let's start with immediate reactions. You guys win. It's got to feel good. What are you feeling right now?
You know, it feels great to get the first one. That was our plan. We've been saying since we got in last night, the plan is to get to Saturday, get to Sunday, get the banner. So that's kind of just what we've been saying all along in our heads and everything like that. Because it's a long week, you know. We're here for pretty much a whole week. You know, today was a great win. It's exactly what we wanted to do. I thought the energy was really good.
Absolutely.
And then,
for sure.
But the thing is, you can't come in too hot because I feel like more oftentimes than not, Dalton and I get really excited and we come in guns blazing, and then by the third day we're exhausted. So I think we're just kind of trying to be kind of easy here, and then hopefully by Saturday we'll be right in our prime, ready to go. Because the plan is to get to Saturday,
Then you get to Sunday.
Then
you get the banner.
So
Nice, great. Pitching strategy. I heard a little bit of it, but what changed today in your strategy, if anything?
I think it was, so the plan coming in was for Nick to get the first, I would get the second, he would get the third. So coming in, he's the stronger pitcher of the two, so I get the middle out, and if I get into trouble, he could just come in and take over when need be. That changed when Jimmy and Jake were having different approaches against us, and we're like, okay, I'll take Jake, you take Jimmy.
Yeah. And the reason we planned that is because we're trying to get to Saturday.
Right.
Then get to Sunday.
Right.
And then get to banner.
Yeah, great.
So
Does one of you feel stronger against Jimmy or Jake, or do you feel confident against both?
You know, I really thought the ball looked pretty big against Jimmy today. I really did.
I thought it was the size of a golf ball today. So it's funny. Like, it was just completely
and that's why
different.
you have teammates, though.
Yeah.
Because, you know, some days both of us might be on,
100%.
and that's when we put up 10. Some days I might be on. Some days he might be on, and I'm not on.
It was a great mix today. I
Great
mean,
mix, for sure.
His bat, my fielding, and both of us were able to throw strikes.
Yeah,
and that's how you create the W.
I definitely do, though, to answer your question, feel like Jimmy's easier to hit than Jake. We have a visitor.
Oh, hello.
He's not in shop, but I mean, he's here. All right. So, last question. Dalton, you're player of the game today. You had some big defensive plays out there.
Thank you.
How
Without
you
you,
feeling
we
about all
don't
that? Has your defense felt like a big part of your game?
Do you know what? Ever since we've played baseball our whole time,
Like a cat.
you know, this is beautiful, by the way. Ever since we played together, Nick and I, from Little League, fielding was always my strong suit, and I just wanted to bring that here. And today I was able to display that behind his great pitching.
Oh, it was
and
unreal.
It brought the whole atmosphere
Dalton
together. It
was
was
like
fantastic. I was like a cat
all
you
day
know?
long. And in high school, he played center field. It didn't matter where the ball went.
Don't even get us started.
If I was on a mound, which was very rare, if we were like getting blown out, or if someone else was pitching, the second the ball goes out to center field, you don't even have to look because you know Dalton's going to track it down. And he did that today. He saved the game and then got the final out.
And you're Batman. Freaking killer.
I love you.
Love you too.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Get to Saturday. Get to Sunday. Get the banner.
This is an allegiance, by the way.
All right, Paxton Elrod, do you think that those two knuckleheads have practiced that one or two times before?
I would be surprised if they have or haven't, truthfully, honestly. It sounded so good.
What was it? Make it to Saturday?
Saturday, then Sunday, then
banner.
I think I don't know. We didn't practice.
Not nearly as well.
No.
But they seem to have things really figured out. I like the pitching dynamics. I thought using Dalton in the middle, and then obviously they got stuck with having to use him there at the end and record the final out.
It never felt like they were nervous or scared. It kind of felt like they were just going with the flow of the game. They knew they had to get 2 outs for Dalton, but I never saw any worry when I was down on the field.
Same Canobbio said for the boss men, Jimmy and Jake, they are staring at 0-1. And you heard them both say not only do they have to win impressively next time out because of the run differential.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. I definitely caught a little bit of that resentment in Jimmy whenever he was referencing Nicky quick pitching him.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like they have a weight on their shoulders, and that's going to carry on to day 2.
Hey, something we're doing yet again here in Blitzball Battle 3, presented to you by Shady Rays. We're going to hand out the $250 per home run comment. So we didn't have one of those in Game 1. Hopefully we'll have plenty more in Games 2 and beyond.
Yep.
But something else we're doing, we have this thing called booth money. I don't know if you can see it from there. It says booth money. That means we get to hand out, $100 total to players, to camera operators, to anybody who did exceptionally well. We're going to be doing that during the game. However, I'm an idiot, so I forgot to do that. So we're going to hand out the full 100 to just one person today. Dalton Feely. Now you say, well, why shouldn't Nicky Cass get some? He drove in some runs. He got 4 of the 6. Nicky's got enough cash. He is rolling in it right now.
Yeah.
So Dalton, the guy can barely afford to eat a meal every day. So Dalton, congratulations on winning the $100. And I promise next time, Pete Moylan and I will hand this out during gameplay.
We will.
All right.
We will.
We will see you again down the road, I believe, in Game 3, correct?
Yep. I'll be back up here Game 3.
Paxton, it's always great hanging out with you. For Peter Moylan and Kelsey Wingard, whom you will see in Game 2, which you could actually see right now because the defending champs, Forgotten Rotten, they're taking on hook, line, sinkers. So just hit the button for next and enjoy Game 2. And with that, we welcome you to the Shady Rays postgame show. Forgotten Rotten, a 4-1 winner over hook, line, sinkers. Quick reminder, head on over to shadyrays.com. Use the code word warehouse. Save 40% on your next pair of shades. And I need these after just watching what I saw with Trevor Plouffe.
That was unbelievable. Trevor Plouffe is the man. He's built for the moment. We just witness greatness all the time. I'm sick of mentioning his name, but he's really good.
If you're hook, line, sinkers, you literally had the game in your hands. Dan Canobbio, though, bobbles one. It's reminiscent of the 86 World Series Mets, Red Sox.
Gets by Buckner.
Right?
Just got by Canobbio. It just can't happen. That's the kind of mistakes you can't make if you're going to win these tournaments. They were my dark horse team, but now it's going to be a tough battle.
Well, today's Shady Rays player of the game, I'm going to guess that it's Trevor Plouffe, so congratulations to that dude. Walk-off grand slam for the reigning MVP. And don't forget, use the code word warehouse. You're going to get 40% off your next pair of shades. You'll also get an early access to the John Boy Media and Shady Rays collab pairs. Those are dropping later this summer. Beautiful. Jimmy's got a pair. Jake's got a pair. We don't got a pair, but we do have Kelsey Wingard, who is standing by with the Shady Rays player of the game.
And I got a pair. Man, yeah, Trevor Plouffe, player of the game, but holy smokes, what an emotional game for both of you guys. Trev, your teammate, who has stepped in beautifully, drew 2 walks. You get that hit, and then you come up with the bases loaded. Pressure's on, MVP, back-to-back champs. Just walk me through that at bat.
I feel like we love the moment. I wanted that moment to kind of like permeate a little bit. I wanted Drew to feel that moment on the mounds. But I do want to talk about Dan and what he did on the mounds, and then that last inning, working those walks. I knew I just needed to see more pitches. I haven't seen a lot of pitches, so I was a little off there. I need to see more pitches. Dan let me be able to do that, and then I got one, and game's over.
And Dan, there's been some pressure on you stepping in for Vinny. Obviously, they've had so much success. You got to be Trevor Plouffe's teammate, but how good did it feel for you to come through and get onto those 2?
Well, I mean, yeah, I came through with leaning in on the plate a little bit, but rules is rules. It was legal. And, yeah, felt good. I knew it was coming. I just said it before. It's like the sun coming up. I knew Plouffe was going to go deep. It was just a matter of when, not if. Is that the saying? No matter when, not if? Yeah.
There we go. Trev, was that one of your favorite moments so far at Blitzball?
It was up there. I thought we were going to lose that game. We're a little rusty, and I'm okay with losing early on in this tournament. But then, that last inning, you saw Drew kind of start to sweat a little bit there. You see his face. I knew we had it as soon as Dan walked there, and I got up there with the bases loaded.
What an emotional game. Dan, show the blood on your face a little bit. We talked about emotional game. Wow, Forgotten Rotten, you guys. Amazing. Rosie, Pete.
We're them rotten dudes. We're them rotten dudes. Oh, my.
Kelsey, thank you very much. Are we sure that Dan didn't cut himself shaving? Yeah, possibly. Time right now for a quick look at the standings, and I want you to pay attention to the run differential because that decides all the tiebreakers. Of course, the caveat is if the home team doesn't hit in the second inning. That obviously happened here. So it's all about run differential. Will that keep a team out of the playoffs? Remember, only the top 7 of the 8 teams will punch their ticket to the postseason. Time to check in on the happy and unhappy locker rooms.
Dan, first question for you. That bobble. Can you walk me through that?
I'd rather not, but that's going to stick with me for a long time. It wasn't even close to the wall. I'm not going to say that it was a close to the wall ball. It was literally a perfect 3-hopper, and I just didn't get it. Just old.
Drew, you're up there. Trevor fouls one off, hits the leg, and then he hits that bobble ball.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about the leg. That was an inch away from winning that game. I want to say one thing before Drew starts. Drew had the game of his life. Home runs, great plays in the field, battling, striking out major leaguers. I don't want him to hang his head. We're going to be back. Drew, lights out.
So, Drew, question for you. Going off of that, how do you guys as a team bounce back after getting walked off by Trev?
We just got to have a short memory. I mean, overall, we played really well, I think. I mean, we were getting on base. Then we left a couple runners on, but that happens. I mean, we had the game. I think played good. Obviously, it's first game in a while. New team, so chemistry still building.
Chemistry's good.
No, I'm not saying chemistry bad. Good chemistry building still. I think, we just gotta forget about it. It's the only thing we can do.
Did you know coming into this game you never had an extra base hit in the warehouse?
Yes.
And how do you feel after 2 of them in one game?
It felt good. I stuck to the plan, honestly. Like the double off Dan, I put a nice swing on, but the one against Trevor, I told Dan I told him I wanted to sit on the slider, and it was right over the plate. It felt good though. Like I told him I really wanted to get a home run, so it was cool. I had a terrible bat flip though. K-Mac pointed that out. I don't hit him often. I don't hit him often, so.
No, but we gotta just remember this feeling right here of losing and don't want it again. We can, stew around for a few more minutes and kind of lick our wounds, and then we just gotta flush it and we gotta win the next day. That's what it's all about.
Last question, Dan. I know that you're keeping Drew on a strict diet.
Yeah.
Do you think the salmon came into play on the walk-off?
The salmon at the buffet earlier in the week, it was a questionable move, but lately he's been on the up and up with the diet. This is not, listen, I'm not pointing any fingers at Drew. Drew he carried me that game, and we're going to need him in this tournament because we're going to bounce right back.
Great. Thank you, guys.
You look so fucking badass.
Yeah. We both do.
You look fucking great.
Let's start off with the exciting stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Talk to me about that walk-off, Trev.
I got to give credit to my man Dan here because he was coming up, and I knew I was going to get a few ABs there, but I was struggling. I haven't picked up a Blitzball bat, haven't seen pitches since Blitzball 2. So my barrel was just not really getting there at the beginning of the game, and then my barrel started to get there in the middle of the game, but I was still having trouble, really putting my bat to the ball. But I needed to see more pitches, and Dan allowed that to happen, working some really great walks there. We got fortunate with the Canobbio bobble there. They got me back up, and I knew, man, once the crowd started chanting, bases loaded, I was all about that.
Yeah, no, it was coming. Yo, let me just say that, oh, fuck, never mind. I just lost my train of thought.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Great.
I had something to say, too.
The booth liked that one. So, Trev, before you got up there, booth is cracking. Before you got up there, you gave Nicky Cass fist bump, gave him a little wink.
Yeah.
You knew what was coming. Did Nicky rub off on you there, or is that all Trev?
No, I saw him, and we've kind of, after Blitzball 2, we had our problems in Blitzball 2, but I really found like a new respect for the guy. I know how hard he works, and I think he's a good person. So, I'm rooting for him. He's rooting for me. If we face each other on the field, could be a different story, but like I said, I just saw enough pitches that my barrel is getting there now, and that is dangerous for the rest of the tourney.
Dangerous. Dan, you went in with the pitching strategy of you facing Drew.
Yeah.
First inning, you face Drew, right? He doubles. His first extra base hit in the warehouse. You stay in and strike out Dan Canobbio.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through switching the strategy away from your Drew and Trev faces Dan?
Yeah, I pretty much just do. The whole tournament, I'm going to be following Plouffe's lead. So like, whatever he tells me to do, I'll do. I thought I was coming out after that. And I was pretty pissed too, because remember, that ball was close to my glove. Like if I was out a little more, I could have caught it. Anyways, I thought I was out after that. Plouffe told me to stay in, and then I struck him out. So I guess it worked out.
It did work out.
Yeah. It's cool.
Nice. Can you walk me through, Trev, your thought process after seeing Drew hit the homer? I mean, you guys are looking at 1-0 down after that.
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
Rotten's been there before. We've lost early in the tournament before, so I wasn't really too, upset about it. It was a good pitch, but too much plate, and Drew just barreled it. But I was like really feeling it on the mound today. I could throw it wherever I wanted to. So I wanted to make it a point the next time I faced him to throw the curveball first pitch, just to establish like I don't care. And I did that.
That was badass.
Yeah, I just feel like really good on the mound. I got to get it back at the plate. I think that last at bat probably helped.
Did the booth discuss at all, like how bloody I was for that entire game? Is that like a?
Can you talk about that?
Look at this stuff, bro. I mean, I don't want to give you guys
no one
too
really knows
much.
what happened. I don't
know.
Yeah, I'm bloody as hell. I'm essentially the modern day Kurt Schilling, but a little more badass and a better dude. Probably shouldn't say that actually. Never mind. I fucked up my hand in pregame warm-ups. So yeah, kind of a badass.
That's where the blood came from.
Yeah,
I don't want to. I love Vinny Vertino, okay, and I understand he's facing some troubles with the law right now. He's hiding out in Macau. We found out, but talk about energy and testosterone. Like sometimes I need a boost. I'm 36 years old. I got this dude with me now. Look out!
I'm fucking with the vibe. I really am, and I got some new supplements over the weekend that should help that whole testosterone thing. So. Just kidding. I am totally clean. I don't know why I said that.
You don't use it.
Well, I did get supplements over the weekend.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I did get supplements over the weekend for this tournament, but they wouldn't like show up in any like test if that's what you're worried about. So.
Oh my God.
Okay,
I think we're done.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Stop talking.
I think we're going to have to test Dan Rourke for more than supplements.
He was all over the place. That
All
is
over.
Dan Rourke to a T. All over the place in the game, but came through big time. But man, that post-game press conference had us rolling up here, Dan.
I love
Rourke.
it. Yeah, and one other thing. I forgot what I was going to say. I had a good point, too. I'll give him credit, though. You know what? We thought he was a major weak link. He actually was able to turn the lineup over so that Plouffe could hit the grand slam, and he did a decent job on the mound.
Yeah, and that was big because, a lot of the talk obviously coming in today, you have the back-to-back champs, you have Vinny, the former big leaguer, and then
Right.
you have Dan Rourke have to step in. A lot of pressure on him to be able to pull through for Trevor Plouffe, keep the tradition alive. But, man, especially drawing those 2 walks in the final inning, he really was able to come through when they really needed him to.
So the two-time defending champs are off to a 1-0 start. Hook, line, sinkers. In the meantime, they literally had the game in their hands. And Dan Canobbio, he said, listen, I'd rather not talk about it. But at least he faced the music here, right?
Yeah, and even whenever I was down there interviewing Trev and Dan after the game, when we were first down there talking, all they were saying were how bad they felt for Drew because it was amazing for him to come through with that home run. We were just told that was his first extra base hit.
Yeah, he had a double and a homer.
Yeah.
Never had an extra base hit.
Huge game for him, but not only was his teammate very complimentary of the game, but the opponents were up here we were even talking about. That was a tough one for Drew to swallow, but we know what he's capable of, especially on the mound, and maybe we're starting to see it come with the bat.
We'll see if that team's able to rebound because that's something that could really stick with you. And if you lose your next game and you fall to 0-2, then you're talking about a numbers game. Could be left on the outside of the postseason party. Did you have fun today? This was a good one, huh?
Oh, that was one of the best ones I've seen in the warehouse.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on ESPN 8 The Ocho. It's going to be on a classic or something like that. All right, Kelsey, we'll see you in a few games down the road, right?
Yes, of course.
Next time I'll be rejoined, of course, by Peter Moylan.
Peter Moylan.
As we get ready to check out Pinstripe Strong and We Got Ice. That is coming your way next time here on Blitzball Battle 3, presented to you by Shady Rays.